Hey guys, so it's Sunday, like i.e. 2 days after I just did my last video. But I'm so stoked about this week's topic that I am doing my video now. Don't mind my weird attire, I just got back from camp training. Anyways, so this week's topic is about friends and school, and I'm super excited because, well, you'll find out. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about high school because I wasn't out in high school. Nobody knew I was gay in high school, and it was tough. But I suppose the reason I wasn't out is because I was still figuring things out for myself. And I'm the kind of person where if I'm going to do something, I have to be sure about it. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to wait till I have a fresh slate, go to university, and, like, tell people then. And that's what I did. University was the best thing that ever happened to me. But before I left, I told my best friend, like my best friend in the entire world. I won't say her name just because privacy, you know. Anyway, she's been my best friend since grade 10. She's beautiful and fantastic and the sweetest, most accepting person I've ever met. What happened was, so I kissed this girl. I was so overwhelmed, I didn't know what to do. I got on Skype with her and I was like, and then she was like, what's wrong, what's wrong? And I started crying, and she was like, I'm sure there was so many things going through her head, and she was like, Brittany, I don't care, just tell me, what is it? And I was like, I kissed a girl, I'm gay. And she was like, I don't care, you could be fucking a sheep and I'd still be your best friend. And I was like, phew. Not that I'm planning on having sexual relations with any animals. Anyway, so yeah, it didn't even take her any getting used to. Like, she was supporting me 100%. She's always been supportive. She just is always there to listen to me. She's just the most perfect person to have as a best friend. Like, hands down, I love her to pieces. Like, I have her listed as my sister on Facebook. Like, that's how close we are. Anyway, so yeah, I went to university and I was in a pretty small residence. There were only 50 people. And then our biggest residence had like something like 3,000 or something. So I was in a pretty tiny residence, and people knew that my roommate was bisexual, which was really odd. But she's more straight than she is gay. But anyway, I found that out, and people were like, "Oh, how do you feel about that?" And I was like, "Well, it doesn't really bother me because I'm gay." And like, it was really easy for me to say just because I felt really comfortable with these people. So I was just, and I had promised myself already that it would be like a clean slate kind of thing, and that this is how I would go into it, and so on and so forth. And everyone was like, "Oh, cool," and that was it. Nobody cared. Every single person in that residence loved and accepted me for who I was, no questions asked. They are the most amazing people that I have ever met in my entire life. I have never met so many different and interesting and intellectual people. It blows my mind how lucky I can be sometimes. My residence was called the Arts House, and in order to live in my residence, you had to write an essay that described why you were, how you were interested in the arts, what you do in the arts, and so they were all arts-focused people who lived in that house. And I don't know if it's because they were all kind of hippies and a little bit out there and crazy themselves that they were so accepting, but I don't care. They're amazing, and I can say over half of them will be my lifelong friends, and I've had nothing but good experiences with friends. I have 4 or 5 really close friends from high school that I told, and none of them took any time to get used to it. It was like this, and they were fine. They were just like, oh, I don't care, like, that's cool. And now, like, I don't know, my best friend, the one that I've been best friends with since like grade 10, she always says, you know, it's really fun to have a gay best friend. She was like, it's so interesting. She's always like, we're living like the same life, just yours is gayer. And I was like, yeah. And she's just like, I don't know, I love how you open my mind to everything. And I love her, and I love my friends from high school. And there are some other friends from high school that I haven't told but not because I am scared to or don't want to. It's just because, like, I don't give a shit. I'm never gonna, I mean, I don't, oh, I promised myself I wouldn't swear in this video. I'm sorry. It's not, it's like, I didn't tell them because I was scared to tell them. It's just like, I'm probably never gonna see these people ever again in my entire life. Their best friend who I met in university, she's a total sweetheart. I've talked about her in my videos before. She's gay too, so obviously she doesn't care. But she's like the backbone of my heart. That's what we always tell each other. She keeps me strong, and I love her. My nose is itchy. I have seasonal allergies, so being outside all day is just bad. My roommate is friggin' fantastic. She came down to my hometown to meet me before we went away to school, and she had like this whole list of questions to ask me, and she was like, blah blah blah, what's your favorite color, what's your favorite alcoholic drink, these really weird random questions. And she was like, they were like, do you have a boyfriend? It's like she just wanted to know everything about me. She was like, have you ever been with a girl? Are you attracted to girls? And like, I didn't want to scare her because I didn't know what her answer was going to be. So I was like, yeah, I've been attracted to girls, but like I like guys. And she was like, oh, me too, but like girls are so attractive and I just love their bodies and just I love them. I don't know if I could ever be in a relationship with one because blah 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 blah, but she's like, I just find them so attractive. Okay. And I just kind of like nodded and smiled, and I was like, oh, that's cool, like I can understand that. I didn't want to come on too strong, so I was just like, I just kind of brushed it off. When we got to university, she was like, it was like a couple days after we moved in, and she walked in and she was like, Brittany, I have to ask you something. And I was like, what's up? And she's like, I bought this poster, but I think that you might be offended if I put it up. And I was like, well, what is it? And she was like, well, let me just show you. And I swear, if you don't want me to put it up, I'll take it down. And I was like, okay. And so she unrolls this poster, and I don't know if any of you, I'm probably pretty sure that you have if you're gay. The poster is called Kiss, and it's two girls lying on a bed, and in like they're both wearing tank tops, a pair of white underwear, and they're like holding each other and kissing. She was like, do you care if we put this on the wall? Like I just thought it was really beautiful. And I was like, go for it, go right ahead. And then that night, I'm pretty sure I told her we were both lying in bed and we were talking to each other, and I was just like, yeah, I like girls. I was like, I'm pretty much gay. And she was like, awesome, that's super cool. And then she asked me a couple questions like, do you think you're gonna marry a girl, and blah blah blah, and all that jazz. And like, she didn't care at all, so I really lucked out on that part. And university, to be honest, is a really gay-friendly environment. Almost all universities and colleges have some sort of GSA or queer like focused group or club or something like that. And orientation week is a really awesome week to check things out. I know at my school we have something called Gay on the Green, where all the gay people come out onto this big lawn that's in front of one of the residences, and it's just like a social and people talk, and it's really awesome. So yeah, get involved with things. It's a great way to meet people and be comfortable with yourself. And yeah, so I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I love you all so much. And be good. Don't get into too much trouble. See ya.